and today I want to talk to you for a few minutes about point of view. I'm often asked about this particular part of writing novels, and so I thought I'd address it today. Now, there are two aspects of point of view. The first one is, do I use first person, second person, or third person? So let's talk about that first. I strongly advise against using second person. That is you, your, and unfortunately it's very accusatory, so it's very difficult for a reader to have an adventure in a story if they feel like somebody's pointing a finger at them. So I urge you to avoid that one. Okay, first person. This is I. This is the most intimate of the point of views. It is as though the reader has opened a diary, and the narrator and the character is the same. And it's very, very rewarding, and it's very easy to get involved with the story. Now, the downside of first person is that sometimes it's hard to show what the character looks like without the cliche of, oh, I looked in the mirror and I looked just like my mother. Or I picked up a photograph and, oh, I have my dad's eyes. And that's a bit cliche. So we have to be creative as writers to show first person description. The other aspect of first person that can be a disadvantage is what's termed an unreliable narrator. This means that because everything is coming from that first person character, that the information they have may not necessarily be true. So those are things that we have to be careful of. The other bit of information is to use a third person. That's when we exchange I for he or she. And this also allows us to use more than one point of view when we use third person. Now, it doesn't limit you in first person to use more than one point of view, but just make sure that at the beginning of each chapter, the reader knows immediately whose point of view this is in. You know, recently I had a writing student say to me, I've been writing this story in third person for 40,000 words and I just can't get into it. So he decided to go back and rewrite it in first. And you know what? That story just sang and danced and played the piano and created a wonderful adventure. That doesn't work for every writer, but it did work for him. So while I'm telling you the difference between first person and third person, I want you to understand there's a few other things to consider. One is the personality of the writer. What works best for you? Now, another aspect of point of view is, okay, I have this scene and I don't know which character the scene should be in. What voice is the best for what is going to happen in this scene? So my recommendations to you are, ask yourself, who has the most to lose? And that is the character's voice that should be in that particular scene, because they have the most to lose, and that's when the stakes are high, and that's what we want. Okay, so that's my brief moment this month from Diann's desk. If you have any questions, be sure to email me at DiAnn, D-I-A-N-N, at DiAnnMills.com. So ride on and have a super grand day.